All right, Algebra 1, here we go with the 3-3A notes. We're going to start this off. This is going to be a very quick, very simple day of notes. But we will be building on this, and it will be kind of challenging towards the end of section 3-3. So anyway, let's just look at this. Here's a problem done out, and we want to know where is the mistake. So look at this first step here. They took the 2 and multiplied it through. 2 times 2x and 2 times -7. Is that correct? Yes, this step is correct. 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times 7 is 14, so that step is correct. Next step, they combined their like terms. They did 3x plus 2x. Did they do that correctly? 3x plus 2x is 5x, so yes, they did. Bring down the plus 4 equals 4x minus 14. Next step, you can see here there's no 4x on this side, so they moved the 4x over. Did they do that correctly? No, this is where the mistake happened, right here in this step. So this should have been a subtracted, a minus 4x right here, minus 4x to leave us with 1x, not 9x. Okay, so explain the mistake. This is what I wrote in the third step, which is the fourth line, right? 1, 2, 3, fourth line. When they moved the 4x over, they added the 4x instead of subtracting the 4x. So that's where the mistake happened. Now, let's fix it. So we can basically recopy those first 3 lines, or I guess the first 2 lines, because they already have one copied for us here, because we know that the mistake did not happen in those steps. So that one was correct. The 5x plus 4 equals 4x minus 14. We know that was correct. So then this is where the mistake happened. They added 4x over. This is already a positive, so we will do the opposite and subtract 4x. So subtract 4x from both sides. 4x minus 4x is 0, so those are gone. 5x minus 4x is just 1x, or x, plus 4 equals -14. And the last step then is to get this 4 out of here, so it's a positive 4. So we're going to do the opposite and subtract 4. 4 minus 4 is 0, so they're gone. X equals -18 would be your final answer for this problem. Okay, now, what we are doing here is just putting points on a coordinate plane. And I know this may be something that you've done multiple times in different classes. It is a very, very simple concept, but it is one that students can get mixed up because they move things in the wrong direction. But just remember, we're now dealing with 2-dimensional stuff. Okay, up until now we've only done like 1-dimensional. X equals 2, or 5, y equals 5, or m equals 6, or something like that. We only had one answer. Now we have 2 answers to our problem. We have an x and a y coordinate. So the x value tells you which way you're moving left and right. And if you think about your coordinate plane, right, this is like giant plus sign that you dealt with before. Left or right is your x-axis. That's your horizontal axis, and that tells you how many units you're moving left and right. Okay? The y-axis is the vertical axis, and that tells you how much you are moving up or down. Okay, so the y-axis is up or down. It's positive if it goes up, negative if it goes down. It's positive if it goes to the right, and negative if it goes to the left. And then we have this point right here in the middle that has a special name. Okay, the coordinates of that point are 0, 0, and the name of that is the origin. Okay, so that's where our starting point is. We always start in the middle. And then whatever our point is, we either move up or down, left or right. We're always going to go left or right first. I should have said that backwards. Because our point is going to be in this form of x, y. So the first number tells us left or right, and then the second number is up or down. All right, so let's just do these examples. Again, like I said, this is something that you've done before. It's not anything new, and it's not really too challenging. So let's find our coordinates on here, A through J, and just label what those points are. So here's A. Okay, let me change the color here for a second, and we'll make it stand out a little bit. So here's A, And A, the coordinates of that, we want the x coordinates first, so that's a negative 10. Okay, so A is, the x coordinate is negative 10. And then the y coordinate was 2. It only went up 2. Okay, so the y coordinate was 2. All right, B, where is B at? Well, B is way up here. Okay, here's B. So the x coordinate is 6. Follow that line down. The x coordinate is 6. And the y coordinate is 10. Here's C. The x coordinate for C, we're going to the left, negative 8. And then we go down. This line right here is negative 3. So C will be a negative 8, negative 3. And D is right here, which is also to the left, negative 8. And it's also down negative 8. So that point will be negative 8, negative 8. All right, so there's a little refresher. What I would suggest you do is pause the video and just come back and see if you get all these correct. So pause the video, do all the rest of these 6, and then see if you have the correct answer. All right, so E, I end up with 1, negative 5. F is 2, negative 4. You can keep pausing the video if you need to. I'm just going to run through these quickly. G looks like a negative 7, 8. H is a 2, 5. I is 8, negative 2. And J is a negative 7, negative 5. Okay, so there you go. That's what you should have for that example. Now, what we're going to do for the last examples is just the opposite here. We're just going to take these points and put it on the graph. So 6, negative 1. Again, I'm starting at the origin. I start in the middle. I'm going to go to the right 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't put a point yet because we have to do the other part. Negative 1 is down 1. So right here is your point. Okay, make sure you do both parts before you put the point on the graph. Next one, 3, 0, negative 4. 0 says, I'm sorry, this is a positive 4. 0, 4. 0 says I'm not going left or right at all, so I'm going to stay right here. And then 4 means I'm going up 4. So right here on the y-axis at 4, which we'll talk about later. That is called an intercept. That is the y-intercept. We'll get into that more later on in a few chapters. Number 4, negative 5, 1. So starting from the middle, negative 5 means I'm going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you count the units. Don't look at the numbers because sometimes the numbers can be off a little bit. And I did exactly what I told you not to do. And let me erase that, sorry. So you want to make sure that you're counting the numbers because sometimes it may look like the number is off and it's, so just count the lines, don't look at the numbers. So negative 5, left 5, and then 1, we go up 1. So that is where your point should be. Number 5, negative 2, 0. So negative 2 means I'm going to the left 2, right here. 0 means I'm not going up or down at all. So right there on the x-axis is the point. And again, negative 2, 0 being on the x-axis, that's called an x-intercept. Number 6. Negative 4, negative 3. From the middle, negative 4 means I'm going to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't put a point yet. Negative 3 means I'm going down 3. Now I can put a point. I went to the left 4. I went down 3. So there you go. There's your point. And that's the last. Oh, no, we do have one more. Sorry. I thought there were 6. Here we go. One more. Sorry. 2, 6. From the middle, we go to the right 2. Up 6. All the way up here at the top. There we go, 2, 6. So again, like I said, very, very simple concept. All you have to do is start from the middle and count left or right and then up or down and put a point. And again, you need to be able to identify these because what we are doing in section 3.3b will be very dependent on you being able to identify these coordinates. So again, like always, if you have questions, please let me know and I will answer them.